My name is Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm reviewing from the house of Parle Moi de Parfum Wake Up World. For 100ml is £140 and the notes are bergamot, lime, citrus, green apple, Turkish rose, bourbon vanilla, tonka bean and ambroxan. And the spiel is a scent that nurtures the spirit with uplifts, bursts of fresh citrus mingled with warm woody notes. Less politics and more kindness. Do we have our bottles of Wake Up World? Are we engaged with our higher self? Let's get testing. Okay, let's have a look at the atomizer. So let's apply the fragrance. Oh, I like this. This is very nice. So this is an instant like. I imagine this is an instant bestseller. This is great. So lemon, lavender, little bit of cedarwood. Just very bright and icy. This has got like a bright, icy, cool feel about it. Ambroxan used to give diffusion, lift. Ambroxan can smell quite clean depending on the brand that you go to. I love the mintiness with it. The mintiness is very, very nice. Nolimbanol. Nolimbanol is one of my favorite raw materials. Not so fond of the isomer timbrol. I love nolimbanol. Nolimbanol's so nice. It gives wood, amber intersection. It's very, very nice. High amounts, not too much of a fan, but very nice. This is super radiant and clean. Citronella I used to give clean, dry, metallic lift. The hydromercenol, linalool compounds. The coumarin and vanillin are giving sweetness, and this I really like. Fragrances are sweetened, but not overly sweetened. That sweetened finishes, and I feel like it's at an intersection when you increase the concentration of ethyl maltol up from whipping through the base to smashing you in the face. I think it becomes horrible actually. I don't like it in very high concentrations. What I've noticed is high amounts of ethyl maltol doesn't necessarily give you overall sweetness. It can become cloying, and trace amounts of ethyl maltol is much more pleasurable. That's kind of what I feel. Ethyl maltol and maltol are actually used in the food industry as well. They are relatives of each other, ethyl maltol and maltol. I love the apple note. The apple note is gorgeous. It's kind of sweet, clean, metallic, and that's the Damasco molecules. This is surprisingly radiant on my skin. I'm quite surprised. Based upon Hedione and Isu Super, and Hedione being the major constituent. And I mentioned before that your choice of raw materials and your concentrations are key when working with a new formula. One of the starting blocks is whether you're going to start on with Hedione to give it a lighter, slightly jasmine feel. I don't really think it does that, but it's more of a floral aspect. Or whether you're going to use Isu Super. And Isu Super gives a more woody velvet aspect, and two work beautifully together. And depending on whether the concentration and percentage is higher of Isu Super or Hedione, depends on the finish you get. Sometimes I find with Hedione, the fragrance diffuses too much and it's quite difficult to perceive. And sometimes with Isu Super, it's a little bit too flat. So working out the percentages is quite key within a formula. Likewise, the choice of musk can give an absolute finish. I wonder why Hanbalide wasn't used in this. The choice of musk in this is not apparent. In my opinion, I feel it has some clean nitro musk to give a sort of clean, soft finish. This is not musk heavy, and this is the flip side of utilizing musks as well. In choice of musk is sometimes you don't want any musk, and sometimes you do. This is clean and radiant, which is quite surprising. My skin is not the best. I think tattooed skin absolutely stops with the diffusion of perfume. I was reading something the other day that said that cannibals don't like eating tattooed people because apparently tattoos make human beings taste horrible. So I'm never going to get eaten, which is like great. But I also think it has something to do with the diffusion. I don't think it allows fragrances to diffuse particularly well. On the flip side, that's why my fragrances are so strong, because I'm testing them on my skin. And if fragrances are quite radiant on me, I know they're going to be super radiant on people who aren't tattooed or people who's got normal skin. Onto my final thoughts. I love this. I think it's very, very nice. It's kind of ticking all the boxes for me. Beautifully balanced with enough sweetness. Trace amounts of ethyl maltol, coumarin, vanillin, the smoothness, enough woody aspects with the cedarwood and the limonol, and isoly super in this aspect. Enough lift and diffusion from the ambroxan and the aroma chemicals. The choice of raw materials is quite simplistic, but quite lovely. The lemon is giving you clean citrus, and the lavender is giving you sort of sweet, herbaceous aspects. I love the Domesco molecules finishing off the apple finish to it. I think this is very delightful. I think it smells very, very contemporary, fresh. I think it's the signature man's fragrance. I think it smells sweet, clean, finished, simplistic. I think suitable for all occasions. I think it's a signature scent. I think you can wear this anywhere. I think it's light enough to be worn to the gym. I think it's sweet enough to be worn out on a date or something. I don't think it's particularly suitable for the officina, for a really serious board meeting. I think it's suitable to be maybe less sprays to give you a really nice saturation for sort of work. I think this is a signature scent. I think the price is really, really fantastic, actually. I love everything about it. I love the bottle, love the packaging. I think it's really, really great. In my opinion, I'm not really getting that rose note. Maybe the Domesco molecules are giving rose-esque, but Domesco and Alpha and Beta. Alpha gives you more rose apple, Beta gives you more wood apple. Not really, in my opinion, getting that sort of note from it. But I think it's really gorgeous. I think it's very, very lovely. I think it's very, very appealing. I mean, I think it's been chosen. Everything's been chosen great. Great amount of projection, great amount of lift. I love the packaging, apart from the crapo plastical cap. I'd say something. If this had a really gorgeous metal heavy cap with the logo on the top embossed into it, I would give it a 10. But kind of plastic caps, I think, are crap. Not really for me at all. I love the branding. I love the colour of the bottle. My criticism is, and this is kind of a bit of a weird criticism, is when you have fragrances that are really, really beautifully constructed, but are linear and simplistic in nature, I get kind of bored. I would love some vetiver in this, actually. I would love some patchouli. There's quite a few things I would like in this to sort of push it. Sometimes simplistic is great. I think it's top end of the pricing. I think if this was an extract parfum and they verified the use of rose absolute and vanilla absolute, because I think that's key to these higher end prices, is verifying them. It doesn't, I think you do it once and you kind of, you can verify that it's in there. Personally, I like the concentration as well. I think I would give it and if it had a metal cap, then I would give it a 10. But for me, it's leaving me wanting more. It's kind of simplistic. I'd love some vetiver to just give it, to ground it, and some patchouli to ground it and give it some darkness, maybe some sandalwood or aramis would have been really fantastic in this, actually. For me, it's kind of missing out on where I'd love to see this direction, but I think it's very beautiful. I'm going to mark it an 8 out of 10. I think it's great, but I would get bored of this. I think I would get really, really bored of it. That thing, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm just being nitpicky. As I said before, the very high marks, so when I would absolutely not do anything with it, and the price is great. So I hope you loved that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for all fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.